Good morning, those who have joined. Sorry, I'm joining a little bit late today. We lost power in our place here. There was an accident in the night, an explosion which interfered with our power. But we hope all is well. Now I see only 12 people have joined. Caesar. Good morning, Caesar. Your flock is not joining class on time. What's up? What's the matter? Hello, Caesar.
Hello.
Caesar.
Yes, bro.
I'm complaining that your class is not joining on time. What is wrong?
Oh, we were having another class. I just ended now.
Also, how long do I wait?
Like let's start at 9:10.
In another 4 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. We can start now with those who have come. We continue with our class. Karibuni ninyi nyote ambao join this class. I hope now everybody has got the notes. Caesar.
Yes, Prof. I shared.
Okay. Thank you. I'll share my screen. Sorry. So on Monday we looked at these issues regarding our code of conduct and ethics, and we want to continue with this. And so we looked at what is your integrity as engineer, and I don't know what you have thought about since we looked at this. Having since Monday, having thought about what we discussed, if there is any concern, any issue which may have arisen, before we go to the next portion. Is there anybody having some concerns, something to talk about? Okay, I suppose silence means that there is nothing that you have thought about. So today we want to start on item number 9, conflict of interest. And here is where we also find ourselves in difficulties as engineers, where we know you're working for, you're employed, and then you get commissions or allowances, your financial considerations, you know, including some things that are given for free, and to try to influence your decision. Yeah. So this is something that we fall prey to as engineers in practice. So you should not be influenced in your professional duties by conflicting interests, and you shall not accept any consideration. You know, during these hard times, this is a very serious temptation to our engineers, and especially as young engineers, as you go into the field, you still have a lot of needs, a lot of expectations. You want to buy a car very quickly, you want to marry, you're thinking of buying a house. So the temptation is to look at shortcuts, how you can do this as quickly as possible. And this is what compromises us and causes us to be convicted in our decisions regarding our work. Yeah? So allowances, from clients, should not get involved in this kind of thing. Actually, I think it is our Constitution, Chapter 6 on our conduct as a nation. It is stipulated that if you are an employer and you're an employee and you receive a gift, you should actually surrender that gift to the company or to the government. Because some gifts can be given to you in not to influence your decisions, but just in appreciation. And such gifts actually should be surrendered to the government or to your employer. And let the employer see what to do with it. That is what that section of the Constitution says. But we often don't do that. So don't enter situations where you are conflicted because you have received something, and therefore you want to make a decision in a way that is favoring whoever has given you the consideration. I think we mentioned this also. Compensation which is improper. When you are engaged in engineering work, you should uphold the principle of appropriate and adequate compensation. Yeah, for your employers, particularly if you are a consulting engineer, you are the principal, you are the boss, company, and even in the areas where you are supervising work, you're supervising construction work, and the contractor is underpaying, the workers. Because when this happens, work doesn't proceed at the pace in which there will always be strikes, all kinds of issues that affect the progress of the work. So you should not allow, as the consulting engineer supervising the work, that the contractor must obey the labor laws and pay people appropriately. I think this one we saw also on Monday. I'm just reviewing this, just so that we as we get in the next points, we are at least reminded of what we had covered. So you shall also not compete unfairly with other engineers, by taking advantage of the position which you are privileged to have, or by criticizing other engineers, telling, this work, if you give it to so and so, without any, clear evidence. You just want to malign your colleagues and paint them black so that they don't get a job. Yeah, that is unfair. Means unfair competition. You must hold your integrity. You must not use any unfair means to take advantage of other people. Yeah. Now, also engineers shall not request, propose, or accept a professional commission under circumstances in which their professional judgment may be compromised. Yeah. You may be called to be a professional witness, in a dispute, in which maybe the community or somebody else has gone to court to challenge the activities of, say, a company. And can give an example. Some company was, constructing a sugar plant in Western Kenya, and some people went to court to say that, oh no, they have not obeyed, the rules of environment. They are discharging their waste in a river. They have not made proper arrangements for managing the waste. So I was called to be a professional interest or professional witness on behalf of the Lake Victoria North Waterworks Development Agency, to give my professional opinion on whether the allegations of the environmental expert were correct or not. Of course, the factory people who were developing the project approached me with the bahasha, and it was tempting. I'm giving you a practical example. It was tempting. They came to my hotel in the night and offered a bahasha. I don't know what was in the bahasha, because I felt that I should not accept this bahasha if indeed their factory was going to have a negative environmental impact in the area. So these things are there. We get these kind of things, always. So your duty as an engineer is to just go examine the situation, go to the site, examine the situation, examine the designs, and give a fair professional judgment. Yeah. If the contractor is being wrongly accused, say so with facts. Yeah. Yeah. Say so with facts that, in your opinion, as a professional, you don't see any issues which are being alleged by whoever has gone to court. Yeah. And if indeed the contractor is at fault, also say so, say so with facts. Give a professional judgment that is going to be helpful, not only to the environment and the community, to the people who are in charge of the project, and also to the contractor, the investor who is actually putting up the plant. Okay. So, but the moment you accept a bahasha, then you will not be able to, you try to protect the one who has given you a bahasha, and then if a second opinion is sought and finds that you are compromised, then you've spoiled your reputation. Yeah. Because if you do that and whoever is complaining takes a further step, is not satisfied that your opinion was good, he may seek another opinion, another professional opinion, and this other professional opinion may go there with facts and figures that contradict your professional opinion. Yeah. And the court may listen to him and accept his testimony. It means that your testimony, was influenced by by a consideration. Yeah. So you have to be careful. This will ruin your reputation. If you are a firm of engineers and you are going to represent your company, this ruins the reputation of your company that has been approached to give a professional opinion. We should not attempt to injure maliciously and falsely, directly or indirectly, the professional reputation, prospects and practice or employment of other engineers. Yeah. See, by indiscriminately criticizing other people's work, so you injure their reputation. That is not, that is unfair. Yeah? The engineers who believe others are guilty of unethical or illegal practice shall present such information to the proper authority for action. If you really have facts and figures to indicate that, another engineer whom has acted in an ethical manner or in illegal practice, arm yourself with facts. Yeah, put your facts together and report in appropriate place, without maligning and being the gossip of the every meeting where you go. I hope this is understood, because these are the issues that you easily get involved with when you graduate in the profession. Now, engineering practice, and this is all we are talking about, engineering practice. And again, here we go back again to the canons. Yeah, elaboration of the canons, that you shall only undertake assignments when you are qualified by education and experience, and in the specific technical fields which are involved in the assignments which you are given. Don't try to be a jack of all trades simply because you want to be paid. You cannot be qualified enough in all aspects of engineering. Yeah. So be humble. Be humble and say, in this area, I would rather propose so and so. You will be better able to resolve, take care of this assignment. Yeah. Don't be too, eager to take every job, even when you are not competent to do it. Yeah. You shall not affix your signature to any plans or documents dealing with subject matter in which you are not competent. Yeah. Unless you are competent to say, yes, these documents are genuine. Yeah? These plans are genuine, and they are not accompanied by a bahasha. Yeah, we mentioned this earlier. Yeah. If you are not competent to make a professional judgment on a document, on a plan, don't sign it. Don't fix your signature there just because you have received a bahasha or you are favoring your friend, and this is quite common. Yeah. Engineers in private practice shall not review the work of another engineer for the same client, except with the knowledge of such other engineer. Yeah? Or unless the engineer who was working before on the same project, his work has been terminated. Yeah? So how does this work? The City Council has engaged Engineer X to do some work, yeah, and you, Engineer Y, you're engaged to review the work. Let it not be a secret, as if City Council is trying to have you spy on your colleague who has done the work before, especially if his work has not terminated. Because this is quite common with the clients. They give you work, then they go to somebody else. What do you think about this? Yeah, and then you begin to discredit your colleague who has done the work before. Yeah. If the one who did the work before had been, of course, paid and his contract terminated, then you are free to review his work without his knowledge. Otherwise, you should be able to connect with your colleague who had done the work earlier and say, you know, I've been asked to do this, to review your work, so that you are reviewing his work with his knowledge. It's not like you're going behind his back to gain mileage over him. So, excuse me. Gracie, I'm in class. Okay. Talk later. Okay. So these are things which happen all the time. So we need to be fair with each other. Because today you are going behind him, tomorrow he will go behind you, and you create enmity, and you become an ethical engineers. You don't know how to resolve the issues. Now, engineers in governmental, industrial, or educational employment are entitled to review and evaluate the work of other engineers when so required by the employment duties. See now, if you are the engineer in the ministry, water, or you are the engineer in the county council, and the council or the county, we don't talk about councils now, we could talk about engineer counties. The county has engaged some other people to do their work for them, and you are the one in charge of the department. Then you are able, by virtue of your employment, you are entitled to review the work that will be delivered. Yeah, yes, it is your duty to review the tender, to review the proposals, to review, the designs of other people who have been employed by your employer to present some work. At that point, you may not necessarily get to the engineer who did the work, because by virtue of your office, you're not going behind the back of the fellow who has done it. You're simply discharging your duties or making sure that your employer has received the correct documents. Engineers in sales or industrial employment are entitled to make engineering comparisons of represented projects with products of other suppliers. We may not be particularly in this area, but should you be employed as a sales representative, then you are entitled to make engineering comparisons between products, of other employers. I mean, other manufacturers or suppliers, so that you can give your industry or your employer a fair judgment of the quality of the products. And number 6, you shall accept personal responsibility for all professional activities under your charge. Yeah? You're the one doing the work, so you must take personal responsibility for any activity which you have been given to do. I know, and before you are registered as a professional engineer, you will not be able to sign drawings. You're not allowed to sign any drawings because you don't have the necessary registration. You're not recognized yet as an engineer. However, within your employment, when you're given work to do, you take responsibility for the work that you've been given. Yeah? You shall conform to the state registration laws in the practice of engineering, which means before you are registered as a professional engineer, you must obey the law and not, try to claim what you are not. Yeah. Because when it comes to drawings, for example, for the engineering work we do, you're only allowed to sign any drawings, for example, any design documents, if you are professionally registered. Otherwise, your boss will sign on you have done the work, yes, under supervision, and he will sign the documents, as the one who has got the requisite state registration recognized by law as an engineer, sign such documents. Yeah. So this is why Engineers Act has been put in place, so that when you have the necessary training and experience, you can be registered lawfully to be able to undertake the work of engineering. You shall not use association with a non-engineer or a corporation or partnership as a cloak for unethical acts. Yeah? Which means you should not, you cannot use other non-engineers and associate with them to cover, your unethical acts. Yeah, you must accept your personal responsibility. Any question on this? This is extremely important. This is the heart of this course that we are doing. Any question or comment? Any question or comment? If you look at these, points here, you see how they conform to the canons, to the principles. They just elaborate on the canons and the principles of engineering practice. If there is no question, we can proceed to recognition of proprietary interests. You must give credit for engineering work of those to whom credit is due, and recognize their proprietary interests. If a design has been done by another engineer, give credit where credit is due. Yeah. Of course, if you've got reason not to give credit, let it be factual and objective. Yeah. Engineers using designs supplied by a client shall recognize that the designs remain the property of the client and may not be duplicated by the engineer or others without express permission. Yeah. I gave you the example of some situation where some fellow may come out, visit a place, and they find some unique design, say of a house or something, a villa, and he takes pictures. He may even go ahead and get the designs, and he brings that to you so that you can be able to evaluate, or if it is a picture, maybe the architect will try to do drawings, and you do the structural designs as an engineer. Yeah. And then you put up the building for the person. And later on, he finds that you are the one who is duplicating that to other people, without his permission. Yeah. That is not, that is in conflict. You are disobeying. You are not recognizing the proprietary interest of the person who has given you that assignment. Yeah. He wants to be unique with this building, and you go copying it to others. You are demeaning. You're not. You must allow him to be proud to be the one owning that kind of unique building. But if he gives you permission to, some people, are attracted by that, and they find out who did this, and they discover you're the one who did it, and you're asked to, can you do this for me? Have the humility and courage to talk to the one who gave you the original idea and say, now I've got somebody who's interested to have a house exactly like yours. Do you agree that I should design for him the same thing? Yeah, if he's not too proud, he might say, okay, go ahead. But if he says no, please obey, obey, give him his proprietary rights to protect the design which he gave you. So, any question on this? Because this can be very tempting. Any question on this? No question? Okay. Item number 14. Cooperation, development, and advancement of engineers. You shall cooperate in extending the effectiveness of the profession by interchanging information and experience with other engineers and students. Yeah. If you are an experienced engineer already, you must, propagate the profession, your profession, by sharing any new ideas that you have come across, any innovations in the area of a profession. Yeah? And such information are always possible to disseminate in, say, seminars, conferences, yeah, so that you allow people to know what advances have you made, yeah. What advances have you made in your area of profession? And because it could be something that will enhance the way engineering is done. Yeah. Don't be selfish. Share it, because if it is an innovation which could be helping, you don't share it and you die with it, you have deprived us of that opportunity to do things better. Yeah. So similarly, enjoy to help young engineers to be developed, to advance, yeah, by guiding them. If you are now a professional engineer registered and the engineers are under you, be happy to see that they also develop, giving them assignments that will help them to grow in the profession, be properly trained and guided in the course of their growth. Yeah, that's why for you to get registered, you will have to work under a registered engineer who will be supervising your work, and this is an obligation to us as engineers that we should be mentoring younger people in the area of engineering practice. So you should encourage engineering employees efforts to improve their education. When employees under your care want to go for a conference, a seminar, do encourage, give them, if you're the boss, give them permission to go and even support them. Give them an air ticket. Give them an allowance to be in a hotel in the coast to attend a conference so that they improve their education. That's similar to point number B. Encourage engineering employees to attend and present papers at the professional and technical society meetings. If at the end of your degree here, you have come up with a project which is innovative, you can present that at the Institution of Engineers conference. Share your ideas. It shows that you are enthusiastic about the profession, and it may be something that can make things better. Encouraging engineering employees to become registered at the earliest possible date. There are many of our engineers who graduate from colleges, engineering degrees, but they don't even bother to register. Which means you will remain a student or a graduate engineer forever. Sometimes you don't even register as a graduate engineer. You just disappear in the world, practicing what your engineering clandestinely, in quotes, because you are not recognizing the requirements of the profession. That is not good. So ordinarily, if when you graduate and you are able to get a job, strive that at the end of 3 years, when you have been continuously doing the work, you can apply for registration. Within 3 years, you should be. Unfortunately, these days, it's not automatic that you get a job. In our days, we were employed in the third term before we even finished our degrees. And so we were few then. the government, Minister of Works, Minister of Water, the City Council, and county councils then would employ you immediately. Yeah. But these days, I know it takes a while, for you to get a job. But should you get a job, your aim is to do the job under supervision, do it well. You can prepare a report, a design which you've made, which can be endorsed by your supervisor so that you can present that at the interview for professional registration. Yeah. Don't sit forever. I know of some of my former students who we graduated even in the 90s, yeah, who are now just trying to register today. Yeah, they've been in the field for so many years. Now the law is catching up with them. They still need to work under the shadow of a professional engineer, which means you cannot register your own company, yeah, and be a principal in your own company. So my encouragement to you is that wherever place you will be employed, strive to aim at being registered as a professional engineer. Of course, the moment you get your degree, register as a graduate engineer. That's the first stage, because just your degree certificate is enough to register you as a graduate engineer. After that, practice will lead you to be registered as a professional engineer. Yeah. So the onus is on you to have a project you can present in terms of a report and the drawings at the end of your engagement after 3 years. Have them endorsed and apply for registration. In terms of advertisement or writing articles for publication, you should not, in self pride or newspaper language, or derogatory language, you advertise or write articles for publication. This can only be done by rogue engineers. Yeah? And you publicize an article degrading, yeah, demeaning the dignity of the engineering profession. Yeah. And some of these things have happened where somebody writes, "Oh, our engineers are not like the engineers of the developed world. They see what they have done," and so on and so forth. And yet you are a member of the profession. You are demeaning yourself and demeaning the profession generally. Of course, there are cases where we can do things better, but you cannot go to the press and say, demeaning words, derogatory words about the way something has been done. Be humble and be mindful of the profession. This does not mean that we cannot take responsibility for any mistakes we have done. Yeah, you saw earlier that you take responsibility even for the errors which you have done. I accept and seek restitution or correction. Breach of code of conduct. No engineer shall assist, induce, or be involved in the breach of this code. Yeah? You shall do all the necessary endeavors to support those who seek to uphold this code, and report immediately any unethical engineering decisions or practices by engineers and others to the board of engineers, of Kenya. You know, and the process, as we saw earlier, have the facts. Have the facts with you. Don't just go and malign somebody without facts. When you are going to report any unethical engineering decision or practice, document what is unethical clearly, such that by the time you report, if the board calls whoever is the culprit, the facts will be there openly. Yeah, so that you are not like you are trying to go behind the others to malign them. Yeah. So this will protect our profession by adhering to the code of conduct which we are subscribing to. And the penalties. Under the Act, you'll be liable when you fail to observe any provisions on this in this code of conduct. You shall have committed an offense under the Engineers Act 2011. Yeah? So you will be liable to penalties, which may be prescribed by the board. Maybe your license to practice may be withdrawn, or things like those. You should not enter into that situation. Yeah. Okay. Please download this. Of course, I've given you in the notes, but it will be good if you get it from the. I hope you got the Engineers Act. You can download that from the website, the Engineers Act of 2011. It's an act number 43 of 2011, and it includes all these, related offenses and penalties and things like those. They are all indicated there. Okay, so please avail yourself with the Act, so that you can be abreast with the area in which you are training. Any question before we move into the business, the office management part of this course? Any issues? Yes.
Yes. I was asking, what about a situation whereby I'm a junior engineer working under a senior engineer, and then a problem occurs, or maybe a mistake has happened, but it maybe happens with the senior engineer, and then the senior engineer may use the junior engineer as an scapegoat, that maybe the mistake was made by the junior engineer, and yet it is the senior engineer.
Yeah, the process. Remember the process which we going through earlier. Document. Have a proper documentation. Try to resolve the issue within. If you are, you're in a company or in the ministry or whatever organization under which you're employed, and you are under the supervision of a senior engineer, and a mistake has been done. Yeah. Resolve internally. Document whatever you think has been done wrong, which you think is not professional, and make it, discuss it first informally with the senior engineer. That this is what I've noticed. Remember those steps, very important. After you document, know the process in which how those issues are being resolved within the company or within the organization where you're working. Know the process which because those things occur all the time. So know the process. If such these things happen, how does the company resolve, or does the institution or organization resolve such kind of issues? When you know that process, yeah, then you also documented the details of the case. Yeah, discuss with your senior engineer, if he's your supervisor, that this and this has happened, which I think is not right, and this was done like this, or this I did this, and you are the ones who overruled this, and this is the result. Informally have a discussion with him. If he listens to you, yeah, if he's adhering to this code of ethics, he will accept responsibility, and the matter will be resolved immediately. Yeah, he will accept responsibility, and correction can be done immediately there. He does not need to go beyond there. But of course, if he insists on blaming you, then you go to the next step. Yeah, because he's just an employee like you, although in a senior position. Go to the next step. Yeah, and resolve it within the organization. Yeah. So those steps are very clear, and they will help you so that you are not blamed for something which is not your fault. Yeah. Okay, are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't go peddling, go talking to others. Oh, you see, this is the senior engineer, like, look at what he has done. That is going behind the back of a fellow engineer, yeah, unethically. Yeah. Approach him informally first and tell him if this is not so, you intend to take the matter further, so that he also knows the repercussions of his refusing to listen to you. Yeah. Okay. It is very important that we maintain order within the profession. Okay. Any other question before we move to the next part? Any other observation, question? I may ask you a lot of questions on this code. So please understand the issues. I don't expect you, when I ask the questions, to copy or to me the answers verbatim, because that may not reflect your understanding. So please understand, go through this, understand this, because this is what is going to govern you in the practice of engineering, so that you don't get into problems and issues with the fellow engineers, with the law, Engineers Act, with the institutions like IEK, Institution of Engineers of Kenya, the Engineers Board of Kenya, because they are the ones who are trying to be custodians of the profession, where we can report issues that affect us. Okay, if there's no question, we move to the next question. Yes?
Why are we having so many engineering professional bodies? I've not seen anything on that under the Act.
What do you mean? What do you mean many engineering bodies? What do you mean?
We have the so-called IEK, EBK, Yes, Association of Engineering Society. I mean, there are so many. Is there a guideline for them under the Act, or how are they regulated anyway?
You know, there in Kenya, there are some associations which just for the interest of those who are members of a certain, like societies. Societies are governed by a different act. Because for example, you may find that the electrical engineers decide to have their own kind of society, which is more of a welfare and not a professional society. Yeah, but all these must be, before they are registered, they must be able to abide by the laws, yeah, of the land. Yeah, if they are going to be recognized as engineering professional associations, then they have to abide with the Act. Yeah? So within, say, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, systems, and so on, they can form their own associations. But you'll notice that when they form those associations, they go by the law. They cannot be registered unless they abide by the law. Yeah? So they are still regulated by the laws of the land. And also, if they intend to be recognized by the Engineers Act, then they must abide by the Act. Okay, so I think don't worry about that. Those must work within it also depends on their objectives. Are their objectives for promoting the profession of engineering, or is this a welfare thing? Or those who have trained in that particular area, So one might look at their objectives, what do they intend to achieve. Some of them may be very good because they are seeking for the promotion of their type of engineering. How they want to ensure that their people in their area of profession are growing. So we cannot condemn them, but the objectives of their registration must be clear. And if they are going to be engineering, definitely the Engineers Act will come to play before they are registered. Okay, any other question? Any other question or comment? If there is no question or comment, we move to the next section of our course. And this, when we talk about office organization and management, is an important part of our profession in the sense that ultimately, you want to be, when you are experienced enough, you may have the desire to actually open your office. Yeah, to open your office and manage your office. So it is good for us to see what does it involve. If you're going to open your own farm, your own office, with the employees, with support staff, what is expected of you as the manager or as the boss of the organization. Yeah. So, and also you'll find that as you grow in the engineering profession, I think I mentioned this earlier, you find that you'll be moving from being just a design engineer on a design table to be a manager. Yeah. It could even be within ministry, within this organization like KENHA, KURA, KERA. You become a manager rather than just a design engineer. So it is good for us to know the practices which are important, as we grow in the profession as engineers. Yeah. So this is why we need to visit this. This is not supposed to make you really a manager per se, because if you want to be a manager, you may want to go for MBA degree, yeah, business administration, but these are just basic principles that we need to, all of us, to appreciate. So management really can be defined as principally a task of planning, coordinating, and motivating the efforts of others towards the specific objectives of the organization. So it means that as a manager, your task is to unify efforts efficiently to achieve well-defined objectives. Every organization has got its own objectives. As a manager, your management is really to mobilize everybody, in whatever efforts they are doing to achieve the objectives which have been defined. So you may have the resources in an organization, but until you use them in directing, human effort to do work or to do something within the organization is, the resources are idle. Yeah? You need to deploy these resources. These resources can be money, can be people, personnel, can be equipment, these are resources. But until they are mobilized to achieve the purpose or the objective of the organization, they are actually idle. Or they are it's an organization on paper, but not in practice. So again, the office management is really a task of planning, coordinating, motivating the efforts of others, within the organization to achieve the objectives for which the organization has been formed. And an organization is an element of management. So an organization occurs when two or more people work together and coordinate their activities to achieve some common goal. So it refers to a structure of relationships among individuals. It can also be defined as a social unit that is structured and managed to meet a need or to achieve common objectives and collective goals. We can look at organization those perspectives. Before an organization is formed, there must be need for that organization. There must be thought how it is going to be organized. What is it supposed to do? Yeah? And how can it be done? Yeah. And so you find that even if I want to start a company, already as the investor, I know what I want to achieve with that company. And then I establish management for that company. And then management realize what are we supposed to do? No? What resources do we need? Yeah, in order that we can achieve these objectives, and how will we manage all these resources together to achieve our objective? Okay, and it has got 4 basic functions. Management has got 4 basic functions. That is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources. These resources in the form of land, labor, capital, and information. So you have to plan and control all these resources in order that you can efficiently reach your goals. So managers are the employees responsible for performing these 4 functions, in addition to a number of other duties to coordinate the organization's work. So as much as you will be an employee, but also managers are also employees whose duty is really to organize and control all these things. Yeah. And these roles fall into 3 main categories. What we call interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decision roles. So interpersonal roles involve performing of ceremonial obligations, providing leadership to employees, building a network of relationships with the bosses, peers, and employees, and acting in liaison to groups and individuals, both inside and outside the company, such as suppliers, competitors, government agencies, consumers, interest groups. That's the work of managers. Yeah. As a worker within the company, if you're not a manager, this may not be your task. You will simply be doing the assignment you're given. But above you as a manager, the manager looks at all these other things, even looking at other people inside and outside the company to make sure that the objectives of the organization is achieved. Then there's an informational roles. Managers spend a fair amount of time gathering information by questioning people both inside and outside the organization. The idea is that they want to know what is happening within the organization. Yeah. How are the people doing the work? Are they happy? Are they satisfied with the assignments that they are given? Do they have the proper tools to use? You gather this information. Then they also distribute information to employees, other managers, and outsiders. Information which are relevant to the employees, yeah, and other people with whom they are dealing with, yeah. So that the company, the organization is known for A, B, C, D. Yeah. That is why you find many organizations developing websites, yeah, because they want people to know something about what they do. Yeah, they print brochures telling people about them. What do they do? What are their objectives? These are the information roles of management. Management must strive to produce such information and disseminate it. Then Then there's the decisional roles. So managers use the information they gather to encourage innovation, to resolve unexpected problems that threaten organizational goals, such as reacting to an economic crisis, and to decide how organizational resources will be used to meet planned objectives. Yeah. They also negotiate with many individuals and groups, including suppliers, employees, and unions. So the function of managers is to make decisions. Yeah? And those decisions should be based upon information that they have gathered, yeah, on what is happening inside and outside the organization. Yeah? If there is an economic crisis, then which may threaten the goals of the organization, they have to make a decision. Do we close? How do we address this? Do we scale down? You know, do we also expand into these other areas to keep our organization alive under this threat? Manufacturing organizations are very good in this. Yeah? When there is a threat or a new product, they know they have to find out so that they keep in competition or have an edge. Their project will have an edge, so the people prefer to use their products. But they cannot do without gathering information on how other products are done, their quality, how will a competitor threaten their existence. Yeah. So things like those are important for decision making by management. Okay. So any question on this? Any comment, observations before we move to the next step? Any question or observation? When we look at this, you may say that, oh, but me, I'm just, I'm yet to be a manager. But you can be a manager in your own house. Those of you, I know some of you are already married. You're a manager in your own house. And when you are a manager in your own house, that is your organization. And so all these things, apply to you somehow. Yeah. You want to know what is happening in your home, your children, and your wife, and you have to make decisions from time to time. This is what we are going to do as a family. That you are acting as a manager. Yeah. This is what we are going to do under these circumstances. When things become very difficult, like they are difficult now in the economic field, you make a decision. No. Your children will not go to that expensive school. Yeah. You have to make a decision that they go to other good school that is not as expensive. So these are things that we have to be aware of all the time. We are managers in our own right. You manage your life, yeah, in order that you can survive. So to some extent, everybody is a manager in your own right. Yeah? Because you've got just that your organization may be just yourself, but later on in life you called upon to manage other people also. So the basic functions of management. One guru of management called Steve Case demonstrated that when managers possess the right combination of vision, skill, experience, and determination, they can lead an organization to success. Yeah? So you need to have the vision. Where do you want to take your organization to? What do you see in the future of your organization? Do you have the necessary skills to steer this organization ahead? You have the experience, the determination. Yeah, you must have a passion for your organization to see that it grows and succeeds in achieving its objectives. Yeah. So to do this, they must perform the basic function of management, which we saw earlier: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Yeah? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. This is a popular question, by the way. What are the basic functions of management? So you elaborate on these points. So if we look at the planning function, this is the primary management function, the one on which all others depend. Yeah, you are engaged in planning to develop strategies for success, establish goals and objectives for the organization, and translate their strategies and goals into planning action plans. Yeah. So you can this strategies can be short-term or long-term. Goals can be short-term goals and long-term goals. But for you to do that, you must be well informed on a number of key issues and topics that could influence their decisions. Your decision. What are the issues topics that could influence your decision? That is the planning function. You must see the future. Yeah. And what strategies can you employ to achieve those future goals or to establish goals? How do you define the objectives of the organization? This is the planning function. Okay, and for you to understand the strategic planning process, then you have to have some strategy. Yeah, that's why we have strategic plans for various organizations. In order to develop strategic plans, just to digress a little bit, in order to develop a strategic plan for your organization, you need to see what is your vision, what is your mission. Yeah? What is your vision? What's your mission? Why is the organization established? If you look around at TUC, you'll see the vision and mission of the institution. Yeah. The management must understand those, the vision and the mission. Then, from time to time, the institution like TUC develops strategic plan, maybe 5-year development plan, strategic plan, in which they try to define what are we going to do in the next 5 years. What will be our mission in the next 5 years to achieve our vision. Yeah. So these strategic plans, they outline the long range, maybe 5 years organizational goals, and set a course of action that the firm will pursue to reach its goals. So these strategic plans, they give you guidelines. What are we going to do in the next 5 years to reach our goal. What will be our goal within the next 5 years as a subset of the bigger goal? So these long-term goals encompass 8 major areas of concern. The market standing. What are the universities doing? Yeah. What courses they are offering? How are they competing with students' enrollment? What is the market standing for education? Say for TUC, for an organization doing products, manufacturing products. You look at what is the market standing for this kind of product, because you may not be the only one producing that product. Innovation. How can we innovate to be more efficient? Not just innovation. It does not mean just innovation on new products, but also innovation in terms of the way things are done, so that you are more efficient. Yeah, you save costs in the way you do business. Human resources. Yeah, what are the human resources available? Yeah, financial resources, physical resources, productivity, social responsibility, financial performance. You know, these are things that you are always you're concerned about. Who are your competitors? What are the new ideas? What's the new technologies? Who is there? Whom do we need to employ within our organization to ensure that we will achieve our objectives? So a good strategic plan answers, where are we going? Yeah. What is the environment like? Yeah. And how do we get there? Excuse me. You know what, I'm in class, I'll call you. Yeah. Okay. So when we're talking about where are we going, it means that we have to be retrospective. Where have we come from? Yeah? So that you know where we are going. Where we come from. That's why we do what we call a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis of the organization. Yeah? You look at your strengths and weaknesses, you know, and so and see how has been the journey, say, in the past 5 years, and so what are our weaknesses, what are the opportunities which are available to determine where we are going. Yeah. And what is the environment? What is happening out there? Yeah. For example, as a university, we are concerned. There are many universities which are coming up. What are they offering? Are we going to be able to still attract students? How are our programs organized such that they will attract students to come to our university? Yeah. So you look at the environment and what is being offered out there. Yeah. If you talk about the engineering environment, yeah, this is an area, I don't know if I mentioned this is an area where innovation becomes extremely critical. If you're going to compete fairly, not unfairly, fairly with other consulting organizations, you look at how do they do their business? Yeah. What is the environment? How do people do work so that they keep afloat? Yeah. They are more efficient in what they do. They can attract the good engineers, yeah, and so on and so forth. So this strategic plan also tells where how do we get to where we want to go in the next 5 years? What must we do so that we can achieve the goal we have set for the next 5 years? And remember that this goal for the next 5 years is as just a subset or a section of the bigger goal, which your vision is supposed to be a worldwide renowned university in offering technology. Big statement. Yeah. But how do you reach world famous or internationally recognized? There will be small steps to make as you journey to go there. So how do we get there is an important question. I know many of you, after graduating, you may not even you may not even want to be a professional engineer, you just want to go into business. I've noticed many of my engineers before, they left engineering, they started business. Yeah. And they have an office to run, and they have to compete with the others. So some of these questions become very pertinent to them. Sometimes when you are just an employee in a place like Kenha or Kura, or you are employed by these waterworks development agencies or the ministry, you may not appreciate this as an ordinary employee. Yeah. When it comes to the management level, then they begin to think about these things. So to answer these questions and establish effective long-term goals, managers require extensive amounts of information. For instance, managers must study the budgets, production schedules, industry and economic data, customer preferences, internal and external data, competition, and so on. Well, this may refer more to industry, but these are even within, say, took the VC, who is the chief manager of the university, must look at this. Yeah, they work with budgets. Yeah, how do we graduate? How do we accomplish our curriculum? What does the industry require in terms of the products which we are producing, which are engineers? What is the economic data? Yeah, how are we moving towards in the engineering profession? What do customers prefer? What kind of graduates do companies outside? Because we are producing products for customers, yeah, who are going to employ you. What do they want? What kind of engineers do they want? And this governs how we structure and review our curriculum from time to time, so that we meet the requirements of the future employers, which are our customers. Internal and external data. What do we have? What are our staff portfolio? How many professors do we have? How many senior lecturers do we have to deliver the curriculum that we have? Yeah. Do we need more staff? In which areas do we need more staff? These are internal and are these staff available out there, or do we need to sponsor and train our staff? What is the competition? Why would other universities attract more students than we do as TUK? But when you are in business, then the competition is what kills many organizations. You find that you become redundant. People have gone ahead of you. They are doing business much more cheaply, and you know, they are able to survive better in the business world. Any questions or comments? Any question or comment? Okay. So when you're equipped with this kind of information, when you've gathered this information, then the next thing you make use of that information to set the firm's long-term course of direction, yeah, during a process called strategic planning. Yeah. So this is quite important. So you would first start by developing a clear vision. Where do you want to go? So most organizations are formed in order to realize a certain vision. And this vision should be realistic, credible, and attainable. View of the future, which will grow actually out of the improvements of the present state. These visions and so on, maybe when the organization sets certain vision, you find that these visions may be revisited. Yeah, they may need to, when will they look at the environment in which they are operating, how they have been operating, what challenges have been, did they set an unrealistic vision? They may need to review the vision. It's not cast in stone. It's subject to review from time to time as the situation, as the environment changes. Yeah. So an example here is people who have been market leaders. Henry Ford envisioned making affordable transportation available to every person. So he started making cars, yeah, the Ford cars. Yeah. Then Fred Smith is the founder of the FedEx. This is a company that deals with transport of documents and information. Yeah. So they envision making FedEx an information company, yeah, besides being a transportation company. Bill Gates is the chairman of Microsoft, envisioned empowering people through great software, anytime, any place, and on any device. So Microsoft is always, doing research to make the software on our laptops, on our phones, as latest as possible. If they don't do that, they will be overtaken by other, companies who are also offering similar services. Yeah. So and this vision, yeah, drives you. Yeah. These days, the Ford cars we have today, yeah, are not what Henry Ford started with in those many years ago. Yeah. And the reason why we have different types is because of innovation. What try to meet them? What did the market require? Yeah. Not those box type of cars which used to be there before, but sleek, aerodynamically appropriate vehicles that the young people would like to drive today. Yeah. So that vision of making affordable transportation available to every person, is still a vision for his organization. It's long dead, but they're still manufacturing cars. Yeah? The vision is still living, trying to develop affordable transportation available to every person. What do you think about this with respect to vision? What is your vision in life, if I may ask? What is your vision? Can anybody share with us? All of you do not have any vision. You don't even have a vision of being the most admired engineer in Kenya because of how you want to conduct yourself. If you don't have a vision or even the kind of person you want to be in life, you're like a ship without a rudder, rudderless. You're just living from day to day. No aspirations. So it's important that we have, as individuals even, leave alone companies. As individuals, we should have what we want to be. A vision is just what you want to be. In 10 years' time, you want to have registered. You might want to have started your own consultancy firm. These are visions. The mission, of course, is to deliver on your engineering profession. Yeah. I'm in class at college. Okay. Anyway, think about it. Think about these things. Okay. Then after you establish a vision, then you translate it into a meaningful mission statement. Yeah. So to transform vision into reality, managers must define specific organizational goals, objectives, and philosophies. A starting point is to write a company mission statement, which is a brief document that defines why the organization exists, what it seeks to accomplish, and the principles that the company will adhere to as it tries to reach its goals. Take time to look at the vision of TUK and its mission. Can somebody quote the vision of TUK? Can somebody quote for us the vision of TUK? You see it every time as you move around on campus.
Education and training for the real world.
Education and training for the real world. That's the vision of TUK. And the mission, how does TUK intend to achieve that vision? That is the mission. What will TUK do, or what does it do as it strives to achieve that vision? That is the mission statement. And that mission statement got to be meaningful, achievable, you know? And so, because it defines why the organization exists, why TUK exists, what it seeks to accomplish, and the principles that it will adhere to as it tries to reach that goal. So you write examples. You have examples within TUK. You can see them. So even as you organize yourself, what will be your mission statement in life? Yeah, to achieve your vision of being the top-rated engineer in Kenya. Yeah, what will the journey you will take to reach there? That will be your mission statement. Yeah. So establish company goals and objectives. Establishing goals and objectives is the key task in planning, because this is the key function really of management. Yeah. So although these terms are often used interchangeably, a goal is a broad, long-term range accomplishment that the organization wishes to attain in typically 5 or more years, whereas an objective is a specific short-range target designed to help reach that goal. So we must distinguish between goals and objectives. Yeah. Goals are very broad. Yeah. It's a very long range, desire of the company or the organization, but objectives are really more specific. Yeah? More specific. And they help you. Those are the steps you are making. The objectives are steps you are making to achieve that overall goal. Mm-hmm. For this company called AOL, a goal might be to become the #1 internet service provider in the Brazilian marketplace. Yeah, and an objective might be to add 1,000 new Brazilian subscribers by year end. Yeah. You want to become the #1 internet service provider. How do you achieve that? Yeah, that is your mission. But how do you achieve it? You must have subscribers. Yeah. So that just like now we talk about Safaricom, Airtel, and all these other upcoming service providers, internet service providers, and they are competing for subscription. Even these mobile telephone providers, the more customers are using your product, the more likely you can achieve your overall goal of being the top. Like Safaricom is now boasting to be the top mobile service provider, yeah, in the region. Yeah, so these objectives is to enroll many more subscribers into the network. in competition with the others. I think we will go into developing action plans next week. I mentioned that we are going to have an assignment. So I would like you to form yourself into how many groups? 3 groups. 3 groups. Yeah. And then group A, B, C. Yeah. And then I'll give you for each group form groups in a balanced way, so that each group has more or less equal numbers. This will be group work. At the end of the assignment, each group will make a presentation to the class on what they have done, and I would like you to also set the group leaders. Yeah? Form groups. Caesar, you are in charge of this. How you divide yourself into 3 groups. Have a group leader for each group, and so that each group knows which group they fall into and their leader. Then I'll share the assignment to each group. Yeah, I'd like to do this preferably by next week. When we have before our class of next week, each group, I should get a list of each group so that I know who belongs to each group and the group leader. Then I'll give that assignment. I will give the assignments to the groups. Yeah. Okay. Have a good weekend, and we meet on Monday, God willing.